All right, I got a little time before my luxury lift gets here to pick me up to take me for business. I got to take care of today. I figured we just talk about this really quick, which needs to be talked about, and I'm going to bring it up quite often, and it should be brought up quite often. This is a perfect example. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. We also have two other companies under our ambient light rejection, Black Edge for distributor use, and our another company for the art community, the Exotic Collection, our Advanced Ambient Light Rejection Exotic Collection. This is a perfect example why those people that are making great or any kind of screen paint product, it's not to do with just great, any kind of screen paint product, why you need to test your products before you sell them to anybody. They should be tested before they are sold. Also, too, for the consumer, do not worry about whether if it's going to be a 120-inch screen or 150-inch screen or any of that. Don't worry about what kind of projector it's going to be compatible with or not compatible with. The main question you need to ask is, can I see the difference between that product and a household paint product? That's what you need to ask, because you need to make sure 100% that you're getting something that is going to be different from what you're going to pick up at a Home Depot, Lowe's, Benjamin Moore, Sherman-Williams. And the reason why we use this particular video, like I said, with somebody else, we would use them. But this is the actual perfect example why we advise you to ask these questions before you purchase any screen paint. I don't want this individual feels that we're picking on him, because we're not. This individual got caught in live stream trying to do a test on a product that he was selling already to his customers. And now to find out in a live stream that his product ended up matching the very same product that we told him what was going to happen 6 months to a year ago. Now that's the reason why we do all these tests. We have something called the black versus black, which we started. They should be doing gray versus gray. And in our black versus black test, which we have posted on our website, you can go in and see just about everything you could possibly think of when it comes on our product versus black paint, that we don't match it. And also too, we can also show where we don't match black paint, we can outperform a white screen and certified screens all at the same time. But as I said before, this is an excellent and perfect example why, if you are making screen paint products, you want to make sure your stuff is tested before you start selling it to people. And why, for customers, the main question you need to ask before you purchase any screen paint from anybody, including us, is you need to go in and you need to ask, how close is that product going to come to an everyday product that you can pick up at any hardware store? Now, I left the mic open as I usually do, because again, customers are not going to come in and get upset over these questions. No, why would a customer get upset over that? A customer is being advised at the end of the day to go in and ask questions about the very product that he and she are buying to make sure they get the best bang for their buck, that they're really getting what they paid for. So why would they be upset about that? The only people that would be complaining about this are sellers. Sellers would be upset over this, because the problem a seller is going to run into when asked this question is if their products were not tested, and if they fail this test, it shows the products were never tested to begin with. If they do pass the test with no problem, then it tells you right from the door that their product is not house paint at the end of the day. But if they don't pass it, then that means that, especially if they're just now doing the test, if they're just now doing the test after they've been selling this product for quite some time, that's even worse, because that means the entire specification sheet, just about everything they said on camera, is a complete lie. There's no way you should ever be testing a product long after you've been selling it. That product should have been tested before it even left your hands. For the customer even got a chance to touch it, it should be tested. But for the individual who's very upset by this video, again, this is not to pick on you. If it was anybody else, we would use them as the example. This just happens to be a perfect example why we explain to customers and to merchants that are making screen paint products, do not do what this fellow just did. So the fellow here in the video goes by the name of Crow. He did a demonstration with Crow 1176. He did a demonstration on his product versus Network Gray 773. That's the Network Gray 773. In the video, he does bear receipts showing that he did purchase the product. Where is the video? Nowhere to be found, because the video was removed off his account by the account person who owned the account removed the video. This is how close his product that he sells on his site for $95 still sells today. I don't know if he removed it or not. I don't know if it's still on the site or not. We don't know. It's probably on the site, to tell you the truth, because I don't think he's going to remove it. But this is the same product that matched house paint. Now, to the consumer who's looking at this, they could just clearly look at this and see, well, gee whiz, they are both the same. I can just go into Sherwin-Williams and just do the exact same thing. And you can, because they both look the same. But in the entire video, he must have pointed out multiple times that there was a difference in discoloration and the color was different and the black levels were off, and it was just a whole lot of excuses. But then again, like I said, in the end, he removed the video because even him himself knew that the video was matching. People like this usually will go to other people, like their friends and family, and try to get the advice of somebody else that maybe somebody may tell them something different. And I'm pretty sure a lot of his friends told him the exact same thing. They both looked the same. And after a while, he decided to remove the video. This video was done to back his products to show that they actually work. This is why we advise customers to ask these questions. Don't worry about what projector is compatible with. Don't worry about what screen size you're going to paint out of it. First question you need to ask from the door, from anyone, including us. I'm not sitting there saying, oh, well, you need to ask only them. No, including us. That's why my tests are there. That's why we did the work. Because we knew these questions do come up. Not only do they come up in form sites, but they come up with customers, they come up with people we're doing business with. They come up quite a lot. So we have to be to show the difference between the two. We had someone come in, they bought a 3D mapping paint, and they were going to do a mesh background design. Now, if they sat there and said to me, well, what's the difference between that black mesh and your product, and I didn't do any tests, what the heck am I going to tell them? I have to do those tests to show what's the difference between black mesh and our product. And I have to do the tests not only on, because some of them, they do these corner cutting cheap tests. They're just showed a little bit of tests and they're done. No. You're nowhere near done. Tests can take anywhere from an hour to 3 hours long to complete because you have to swap your projectors out. You have to be in different environments, in different lighted environments. How is it going to react to 1,000 at that rate? How is it going to act to ultra short throw? How is it going to act inside? How is it going to act outside? You have to do all these tests to show on every level that it has completed. Honestly, I don't know how people sell a product without testing it first. It would terrify the daylights out of me that if I made somewhere along the line, as I'm hyping this product up, that I may fail on something that may be so simple and it may basically out me as being nothing but a huge fraud. And that's what happened to this individual right here. He did this test and his product ended up matching the paint. Now, what about the customers who already purchased the product? What about the customers who already bought the Cinemax and they were convinced that Cinemax was doing all the things that he claimed it was going to do, and it was a special product, it was different from any other screen paint, to find out that they literally could have just went right down to a Sherwin-Williams, slid a gallon off a shelf, and did the same thing for far less and more paint. That's what happened to them. Now, the other ones that are still within the guidelines of actually getting a return, they can go file a return against them. Those other ones are past that, and you're kind of stuck with it. Well, at least you primed your wall for something else. So, but anyway, and those individuals that are, he's hoping that doesn't see any of these videos, that don't know how to ask certain questions when they're buying products, those are the ones they hope for. I guarantee this product, I'm hoping it's not, but it probably is still being sold on this website. And that shows you that if he is still selling the product after we've had this conversation multiple times about this, it clearly shows that he just doesn't even care. Mind you, we on the blacklist, we have a paint on there called the 2.0, the Metallica 2.0, which there's a video showing how to make the very same product that's being sold on the site. This is why you need to ask these questions. Extremely important. Don't worry about the projector. Don't worry about the screen size. Request tests. Go through the website. If there's no test page on the website, then you call them up, you email them, and the first thing you ask them, hey, what's the difference between this and house paint? Do you have any tests? Now keep in mind, first red flag is if they're just now showing you tests, if they're just doing tests after they've been selling this product, that's a first red flag that's going to pop up. Product should have been tested before it was sold. First one to pop up. For those of you who are selling paint, just so you know, if you show a test or try to show a test, you've already failed from the door. That product should have had tests on it long before you've actually sold it. Second, like I said, can't just do one demonstration. There's multiple demonstrations that have to be done on gray versus gray. Like I said, how does it react to 1,000 lumens? How's it going to react to 2,200 lumens? How's it react in a fully lit environment? Now, keep in mind when he did this demonstration, it was done on a P2. It was done on a very high-end projector. This is a 33, I think it's 3,300, oh no, 3,000 lumens. 3,000 lumens, ultra short though, 4K laser projector. So if it picked up that well and you can't tell one from the other, anything else is going to match with no problem. Now, another thing too, what I read in the specifications, this is why testing is very important, because testing allows you to be able to design a perfect specification sheet, because then you know the limitations of your product from testing. If I'm saying that my outdoor screen paint products react between in the hours of 5 and up, I know this because I was outside doing multiple tests on multiple projectors at that particular time to see when the screen activates. If I put on my specification sheet that that product activates at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I never did those tests to begin with, then what's going to happen is a person's going to buy that thing. It's going to activate at 12, and it's not, because even I know it's not, because I never did the test. That's why I said specification sheets are fake. Because you can't put something down there if you don't know, if you haven't done the test yet. Clearly how I know you haven't done the test, well, this particular individual is speaking to him right now. Why I know you haven't done the test, you have it marked that your product works at 2,200 lumens and up. Network gray, bare silver screen, and even slip silver can register and pick up in the same lighting you're in at 1,000 lumens. Easily, at 1,000 lumens. That's how I know you haven't done tests. If you'd done the test correctly, you would have noticed that they pick up at 1,000. Your product should have picked up at 1,000 with no problem. It's the same thing. So that's how I know. Again, they literally don't know what they're talking about. The other fellow who also sells these products, fellow by the name of Parte, his specification sheets are way off. A black screen, any dark screen, even dark gunmetal screens, are never supposed to have a gain of 1.1. That is way too low for a screen. That screen literally has to generate enough light because it's a much darker screen, and the white levels are going to drop even faster on that kind of technology. So the gain level has to be extremely high in order for it to maintain those white levels. To have a black screen with a 1.1 is extremely poor. Especially when you have a screen that's a mid-gray, like a Elite screen, gray, what's the Gray Cinema 5D? I think has something like a 1.5 or something gain on it. So how are you lower than a gray screen and your screen's black? Yeah, that tells you right there. A gain on the screen can't be 2 at the same time. It's one or the other, either the 8 or 9. It can't be an 8 or 9. It doesn't work. So that's how I know you guys haven't been doing proper testing. As a matter of fact, same thing applies to him too. He needs to do that test on the house paint, because the customer at the end of the day, he or she wants to make sure that they're getting screen paint and not house paint. At this particular point, especially from this fellow, I would not put it past him that he's just going out and buying Sherwin-Williams, putting a little glitter in it and just selling it. Because again, with that perfect match right there, why would you go out and make your own product when it costs you $17, $18, or maybe $20 extra for black paint to tone it, when you can automatically get it toned for free? Put a little glitter in it and you're done. That's it. So who's to know? So this is the video right here. So we use this video because, like I said, this is a perfect example why the customer needs to ask this question. Like I said, consider the people already who have purchased this product long after this video, before this video actually was displayed, what they're going through right now. They got scammed. If I owned the Cinemax on my wall, so I bought it maybe 2 years before this video came up. When I seen this video, what the heck do you think will be going through my head at that particular time? Yeah, there you go. Get a little more close up on it. Now, I give him a little bit of credit. I'll tell you why I give him a little bit of credit. The reason why I give him a little bit of credit, because he did the demonstration. A lot of people haven't done these demonstrations. Not only that, certified screens. There's questions about that. Some of these certified screens out here are certified paints. How close do you come to house paint? I've been all over your websites. I have. I could not find one test page, not one. We can post our test because our products are tested. While I was sitting up there in that house doing all those tests, all that work, you guys were sitting there doing the same dumb demonstrations every day, dark environment, and talking all this trash about how your products do this, that, and the other. And now you're faced with that haunting question: how close does your product come to house paint? Now, before, we used to ask them to do these tests, and like I said, they would ignore it as much as possible. Now we're pushing it toward the consumer to ask these questions. So I'm going to educate the consumer on what to ask for when you are buying screen paint products. And the first question you need to ask for is a side-by-side versus everyday household paint. You don't want to sit there and pay $95, even $50, even $20 for a product that you literally could have just walked down and did it yourself. Now, what was going on in this video while this was going on? Well, the individual was in there lying through his teeth, trying to tell people at the end of the day that this product right here, it was two different products, two different screens they were looking at. His product was completely different. No, it's not. $3,300 for a projector and spent the money. Some people probably went out and bought this projector because he advised them that the best screen paint to use for that projector was his product, his Cinemax. Sherwin-Williams would have did the same thing. No difference. And you saved yourself some money. I would have a gallon of it. Paint as much as you want. Now, what I find interesting, his return policy is really interesting. Out of all the ones I have read on their different return policies, it would be the most interesting. His return policy is strictly designed to take money from the customer, to give the customers nothing back. It is a policy, again, as I said before, PayPal will not honor. We know this because we have filed complaints against this individual for items that weren't shipped out, for items that were tampered with, stuff like that. And we were able to, he said, well, it came defective. He said basically that it was a mistake. Anything to try to keep the money. I'm gonna see if I can go through and get the transcripts on basically what he filed in as in trying to defend himself when he was clearly guilty. This is why he lost. PayPal will go through everything on your account. They will go through everything to make sure that whatever you're talking about, you can back it up. When PayPal went through that website, they came back out and said this website's clearly fraud. Because your shipping policy alone by itself clearly has nowhere for the customer to be able to do anything once they purchase the product. This is called a fail-safe due to the fact that, say you have a gray wall in your house already, all right? And he tells you that, hey, look, the product I have here is going to see higher contrast levels in the wall. It's going to pick up higher white levels in the wall. It's going to pick up better color than the wall. And you get it home and your wall does the same thing or better. And you contact him and say, hey, look, either I want my money back or you're going to do something with this or make something that's going to be a difference. Well, he can't test anything because none of his products are tested. So he can't do that one right there. He's going to have to try to make something off the top of his head, something, I don't know what he's going to do. But he's going to come back and say, well, did you see my return policy? It clearly says that if the product lands on your property, it's yours. And if you open it, it's yours. How are you going to know if it's going to match your wall if you don't open it? There you go. All right. Yes, and guess what matches the white levels too? Actually, the white levels would be higher on the network gray because it's a much lighter paint. If you notice when he was applying the surface down that the network gray is a little lighter. So that means it picks up a much higher white level. So when he got on camera, he said, well, it has a slight discoloration, iris a little darker. No, it's not darker because it's lighter than your product. So no, that's not going to happen. So this is a little bit of a education for those of you that are going to be developing screen paint products. Test your stuff because there's hundreds, thousands, and millions of my kind out there that will ask you right up front, hey, is your stuff tested? Where's your test demonstrations? Yeah. And for the consumer at the end of the day, you need to ask about this because you don't want to sit there and have a $75 or $95 can of house paint shipped to your front door. You clearly could have done yourself, or even worse, you already have it in your house because you have a gray wall. Now, you know how I work. I don't like to talk about things unless I can back them up. Now, maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong today. He might have moved it off his website. He might have taken it off his website, and I could be in here saying, well, it's on his website without basically proving it. So I do like to go over and make sure that I'm right on this 100% before I make these accusations. Keep in mind, when we do go to the site, this person becomes extremely hostile. This is the reason why I left the chat room open. Because as I said before, no customer is going to come in here ranting and screaming. What a customer is going to come in here ranting and screaming about, oh man, I paid money for this and it's not tested and I don't care. Yeah, no customer is going to scream and yell about how a product's not tested and it ruined for them because they don't need it tested. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. If you're working hard and you're making your money and you buy a product, you want to make sure it's tested. You know what you got, what you paid for. I don't know anybody would basically argue the opposite. No, the only person that would come in here ranting and carrying on would be those who make gray screen paint products because they're out and they have to test. That's why. Only people that would be upset over that. That's why I let the mic open, to see how many will come in here and start running their mouths and start carrying on and acting up. All right, let's come out of here. Let's go over to the website. Now, this is the website, and this is the website we do warn you not to purchase on, not to buy from. I'm going to show you the title of the video so you know exactly what the title of the product is right here. There's the title of the product, Crow's Cinemax Mix. So you know it's the Cinemax versus the Network Gray 773. So you see it right there in the title of the video. And as I said, where's the video at? Who knows? He got rid of it. We actually caught him in a live stream removing videos. So we know where it went to. So you know that's the product. This product right here, he removed. This is the personal mix. The personal mix also too ended up matching house paint. This also another video has gone missing off his account. No one can't seem to find it. Of course, it's gone. It's definitely gone. This was one he shows him walking out of a Home Depot with the container in hand of bare silver screen. And that product ended up matching perfectly. Let me show him right here. You can see him on the blacklist. Look how perfect. It's interesting how he keeps repeatedly doing this over and over again. He's been doing the same scam over and over again. This is old. This is probably about 2 years old. And he turned around, he did it again. That was like last year or a year for last year, yeah. Same thing. Look at that. Look how it did. Interesting, isn't it? But this is not sold on his website anymore. He removed it. I think he removed it. I don't know if it's there or not. The worst of the worst, I would say the worst of the worst would be, let me see, show you the worst of the worst. We just put a new page in there for that too. Just put a new page in there for that. Here we go. These are the videos we counted that went missing off his account. Those are missing videos. Here we go. These are the more incriminated ones. These are the 2.0 scam. They're side by side. You can see it. That's the paint he sells on his website right there. We recorded his website showing you this is an actual product that he's selling on his website. This is the ingredients, how to make it. Now, the 2.0 at that particular time was one of Jamie's free screen paint products. Like I told you, when he first started off, he gave away products for free. Showed you how to make them. That's why that video exists. If he ever sits there and gets on camera and says, no, that's not true. Oh, yeah, it is, buddy. That's you in the video. That's you making free screen paint. The sad thing about it is the title and thumbnail of that video is Metallica Mix. That's what it is. Same product made here, which you can make this for free. Now, he did get caught on eBay trying to sell this product. We busted him on it. Now that product popped up on his website, but the personal mix disappeared. Gee whiz. I feel sorry. This is why your customers are coming in back. What happened to the Crow Boys? Crow Boys had dissolved. They got plucked. They're done. They're not coming in here backing you up. They got scammed themselves. The very same people that were backing you got scammed. That's the 2.0. This right here, side by side, is on his website. We do a recording of his website to show you that the product is still on the website. Now, I'm going to go check the website right now. That's why I gave you a warning that this guy rants. He goes off like crazy because, again, he's being outed. And we use him as an example. If it was anybody else, say it was somebody else, then we'd be using them. It's not because we're just looking for your videos. I've actually tried to track down anybody that was doing videos on your level. You're the only one that popped up. There is nobody else that does, except for Partey, but we have to get his product down here. We can't get his product down here because he keeps canceling our orders because he can't back his products up. That's the problem we have with him. And we got the proof, and I got $700 worth of canceled orders from Partey. As a matter of fact, we can post Partey in here too also. Partey's customer service is absolutely nightmarish. We have an email from Partey. You're talking about you're supposed to be professional. Gentlemen, this is why I explained to you, you keep your personal emotions at the door. That have an email with you cursing and carrying out. Customers don't like that. Ranting and calling people all kinds of nasty names. And then at the bottom, he has his Instagram account, his Facebook account, and website with your company's, information on it. Next to this email, it has all these nasty curse words, and you got the nerve to have "God bless" on the back of your pillows in your videos, and you have that much nastiness coming out of your mouth. You know, it'd be interesting if you got Elon Musk on a hot mic. You know, a hot mic is when a mic is actually on, but they think it's off, and he's back there just ranting and cursing and kind of, and you're like, oh shoot, got him on a hot mic. Yeah, that's kind of really embarrassing. That's what they don't want to show you. They don't want to show you that side of them, which is actually pretty normal because it's a human side, but some people just take it a little too far. Where this individual just went off in the email, and we're going to post that email. And we're only going to post the email. We're going to post all your canceled orders showing that you cannot back your products when we want to go place your products. We'll post that tomorrow. I got those on file. But let's talk about this real quick. Now, let's see. Now, like I said, I don't like to talk about things unless I know they're 100% legit. Maybe he did remove the Cinemax. Maybe he's not selling anymore, knowing that this product is matching house paint. Maybe he took off the 2.0, knowing that he has a video showing you how to make the 2.0. Well, let's go check it out and see. So let's go over here. We'll just pull up his website. And mind you, when I say this about ask these questions, I'm not just talking about with him. I'm talking about with anybody, including us. But the difference we have here, gentlemen, or just ladies out here to make it also too, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, we have tests to back it up. I can post a link to my entire test page anytime I want. For any customer, anytime, anywhere, we can post. All our tests are done. We got them now coming in. They always try to find something to try to grab onto. Now they're trying to come and say, well, can you do tests now? Why would I be doing tests now? I'm selling the product. That's the dumbest thing I would be doing. Why in the world would I be doing any test on a product that I'm selling already? Those tests should have been done before I sold the product. That's how that's done. If you're making that suggestion, then that tells you at the end of the day, you know nothing about testing. The very objects, like I said, that microwave oven, range, whatever you have in your house, would you have bought that if it wasn't tested first? Or you're going to buy that appliances, take it home, plug it up, and then later on, they're going to send you test results after you had it for a while. Yeah, and then the scary thing about it, what if it fails one of the tests in the process, like, you know, catching on fire and burning your house to the ground? Like, oh, shoot. Yeah, there you go. That's why those tests have to be done before. So any trial and error that may pop up while this thing is being tested, it's noted, okay, it overheats. We got to fix this and we got to fix that. That way you don't have a faulty item in your house that may cause potential damage or danger to your family or your loved ones. So by you suggesting me to do tests now shows you know nothing about testing and your products are not tested. Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. How do you buy things at the end of the day and not know this? So I saw, real quick off topic, I saw the PS5 digital units are easy to get, more easier to get. They're about $800. So I'm going to pick one up, but I'm going to modify mine. I'm definitely ripping mine out of that crappy case. Sorry, people, that case is crap. It's overheated. It heats the system up. Now we're running a liquid cooling system through my bad boy. That's what I'm doing. I mod all my systems anyway. I never keep anything in the case. The cases are garbage in console systems. Well, not the older ones. The vintage ones were actually perfect, but these new ones now, because they generate so much heat and put more powerful components in these units, and it's not enough airflow, and you wonder why your system burns out so fast. Same thing with the Xbox 360 scenario. Too compact of a system, too much power, burn it out. Yeah, that thing's definitely coming out of that crappy case. That case is garbage. I'm gonna put it in, probably gonna end up getting, I want it micro because I don't want it huge, but I think I'm just gonna drop it into another V21 case. I'm gonna run a liquid cooling system. Yeah, because that thing looks like, I mean, no, $800 for a unit that's gonna cook itself. No, we gotta open that thing up. We don't liquid cooling, we gotta drop a couple of fans in there, something, but I think there's more airflow than that little whatever crap they got that thing inside of. Besides, I don't like the case. It's ugly. Sorry if I offended some people, but that's my personal opinion. Freedom of speech. It's an ugly case. No neon lights, no neon fans. What the freak? For 800 bucks. All right, let's go over here and let's go to the website. Be warned. This is a person that's going to lose his temper. He is going to explode. But like I said, we're going into this site to see if these products are still sold. Now, last time we were in here, he took pictures of me. I guess he defiled and some other stuff and posted. That's very unprofessional. Why would you mark your website? Again, very unprofessional. You guys got to grow up. But, you know, that doesn't bother me. It just shows you at the end of the day how unprofessional you are. All right, so let's see. Let's go over to the shop area. And let's go in there. Oh, he's still ranting. Enough. Jamie, if you don't want to be outed, right? If you don't want to be outed, you remove this stuff off your site. That's what you do. So let's see what this is right here. Let's get a look at what he's selling here on the site. Now, after what you just saw a few minutes ago, you just saw the Cinemax, right? Let's see if the Cinemax is still on here. There's a 2.0 right there. That's the one we showed you that you can make out a simple black and white paint mixture. This is his first product that he was giving away for free. That's a 2.0. There is the Cinemax right there. There's the Cinemax. So that shows you, this is why this is a perfect example why we tell you from the door, the consumer, to ask these questions if these products are tested and have them tested next to house paint. This is something you should be requesting from anyone you're buying screen paint from. Anyone, including us. And this is why I'm more than happy to send you over a ton of demonstrations of our products tested on just about everything you could possibly think of. We have our test page on display, and also too in the bottom of the caption section, which I'll be loading it there too. And in our description box, we have our test and demo demonstrations posted right there. Keep in mind these demonstrations, some of them are done live, well, most are done live, and they can last anywhere from an hour to 3 hours long. It's a lot of testing. But here you are, you can see it right there. This is a perfect example why we suggest customers to ask this question, because this is a product that he was giving away for free, that he's not selling, and even more, this is the Cinemax right there, the product that matched the Network Gray 773 in the video demonstration you just saw. This is why you need to request these tests from the door. And they're just now showing you these tests. Another red flag. This product should have been tested before he shipped it out. So let's see what lies on the specification sheet. Now, we clearly know the specification sheet is a huge lie due to the fact that what we just saw a few minutes ago of the product matching house paint. So anything you're reading in the specification sheet is a lie. Because, again, it matched house paint. And house paint can do the exact same thing he just wrote in his specification sheet. As a matter of fact, where it says 2200 lumens and up, I've done that test myself. I own multiple projectors. Matter of fact, I own more projectors than both of you combined. And I know for a fact that the multiple 1,000 lumen projectors we tested, that house paint will pull at 1,000 lumens in the same environment you guys sit in. Yeah, 1,000 lumens. It'll paint up to 100 to 135 inch screen. Paint the same thing. It has the same texture, no problem whatsoever. It's the same texture. If I take out the paint and I put them by side and I feel them between my fingers, I can tell the texture if they're both the same. Just by feel, I can tell. It says tested. I'll notice how you have the word tested here. Question I got to ask you is, what test did you actually run on your product to consider it to be tested? And where are these test demonstrations? Because we do not see them posted on the website. If I go to the top of your website, only thing I see in your category is shop and home. That's it. I don't see anything else there. Now, just not just come on him about this, but there are other people we've gone in, we've looked at through their site trying to find test results, and there's nothing there. So how much of this product is matching house paint? And as I said before, I'm not the person, I don't like to come on here and talk about someone's product without having the proof to be able to back it up. So that's why maybe he could have removed it. And the time that I was doing other things, he might have just went in and removed the paint off his website. But as you can clearly see, he hasn't. So he's not worried about the people he's already scammed. He's not worried about that. He's more concerned about the people who haven't seen those demonstrations yet, because those are the people that will be duped into falling into this Black Widow's web and getting caught up in this nonsense. Now, how in the world, again, I can't express this enough, you can call everybody out scammers, but clearly we can see a demonstration with you on the demonstration, bearing receipts, showing the container, matching the product, video went missing, and now the same product that's right there showing on the blacklist. And I think there's about 5 or 6 other people actually showing off these videos, maybe more. You still have the same product sold on the website. So what's the difference between this product? You can say it's something new, it's something different, it's not the same. Well, you don't have any tests, so therefore you can't back it up. So you're going to have to do the test again to prove that this product you have here is different from what was in the video. And if you don't have the demonstrations, well, it's just bull crap. Let's see what the policy says for getting your money back. Well, this is what your policy is. For customers who purchase from here, this is what you're going through. Return policies. It's the same thing as it always was. Every time we come back, the same thing. Returns and refund policy once the product is delivered, as again, incorrectly spelled. No returns or refunds. Only exchange for a different mix if the container wasn't open. How are you going to find out whether or not it's going to match anything in your house? Because there's no test. There's no test back in the product. So how are you going to know unless you open it? So if you got a gray wall sitting in your living room, you're looking at that like, gee whiz, I wonder how close that would come to matching this product. Since he didn't do the test, you're not going to know, are you? So that means you become the tester. So you stick that against the gray wall, and it matches, and then you call him back, want your money back. But he's going to say, well, that product was delivered on your property, correct? Then there is no money back, there's no returns. And I could give you an exchange, but you opened the container. So how would you know if they're going to match if you don't open it? There you go. That's designed to steal your money. PayPal will not honor this at all. All you have to do is point this to PayPal. We won 3. For him to say we don't know what we're talking about, I have to address the person on this one. Jamie Fernando Gonzalez, I won all my PayPal. Even the ones you filed against me, I won every last one of them. You've never won one against me. It's like 15, 16 of them. I won every last one of them. So that shows you at the end of the day that you don't know what you're talking about. I can go there and talk to them and explain to them simply. And even when they go to your website, they can read your website and tell clearly your website's a scam. This right here is a scam. I won 3 claims against him. He filed 3 claims against me. I won all 3 of them. That's why when he got to 2.0, he was so desperate. Oh, I forgot about that too. I got to get that done. My goodness, that's me like slacking. I got so much stuff to do. I literally forget. City Hall is like right there. Just have to walk in there and just follow the papers. I got to get that done. But anyway, as I said before, you don't have any tests. So how does the customer know 100% he or she is getting screen paint or house paint without those tests? And since there is no test done, they have to become the tester. So if I'm looking at a gray wall and I'm looking at your product, I'm going to have to open it up to see if there's a difference. How else are they going to know? But you have it here, if they open it, they can't get their money back. There's no exchange. There's nothing there. That's a scammer. So a $95 house paint. You can do this yourself. Oh, I forgot. There's no. It's right there. No. Let me make sure I get this correct. I don't like to say things that are not true. I don't do that. $70 surcharge fee. That's your business, and that's none of my business. Whatever, that's him. I can't say anything about that. He does have a right to charge that 100%. But again, you're charging a $70 surcharge fee for a product that matched the house paint. The Cinemax matched the Network Gray 773. You're scamming your customers right there. You're charging them a $70 surcharge fee overseas for a product that they can literally walk into a local store. Now, the reason why they don't do the slip silver is very dangerous. And I'll tell you why it's very dangerous. Slip silver can be ordered anywhere. You may not have a Sherman-Williams in your neck of the woods, but you got Amazon, don't you? You got a cell phone or a computer or whatever. You can go on right there and get it for $17.03. That's why they refuse to do that demonstration. Now, I don't want him to think, at the end of the day, I'm not just picking on you, buddy. It's everybody. Did I just not include myself in this? Didn't I say you ask everybody? I didn't say everybody, oh, just ask Crow only. Didn't say that. I said everybody. Either it be Goose Green, Knox, anybody, even us. You ask us. This is why when I sit there and explain to you guys about this is what happens when you cut corners. Those of you who want to be sellers of screen paint products, this is what happens when you cut corners and you don't do the work. Because now you can't back your product up when the time comes and you're going to go through what this individual was going through. Now, any demonstrations, every time I see the product, all I see is Network Gray 773. It does the same thing. Why would I go out and spend the money for a product that house paint will do the same thing? You notice you don't see any of the side-by-side demonstrations here, right? You don't see the Network Gray pictures in his slideshow. You don't see that at all, period. You don't even see any of the videos on the website. Of course, they're not going to put the videos there. And customers will look at that and they'll go basically for the house paint. It's much cheaper. So Network Gray will do the same thing. So that means that individual got on camera on YouTube, lied to you, told you that you were going to get this beautiful picture, this image. It's all about quality. It's all you're saving you hundreds of dollars just to turn around and match house paint. I'm here to help and save you hundreds right there. That's interesting. Like I said, it's not just him. I want people to think, oh, it's just him. No, everybody needs to be asked this. That's why I said, consumer, before you go and purchase yourself any screen paint product from anyone, you ask that question. You want to see those tests. And when you see those tests should not be dated now. They should be dated before the product ever launched. That's what they should be dated. They're just not doing those tests. That's a fail. This is the demonstration where Crow 1176 got caught hiding evidence, trying to hide videos off his channel. This is one of the Cinemax video demonstrations. Actually, there were two of them, and this is one that went missing. This is a person that's trying to save you hundreds of dollars, more like steal money from you. Now it's about what? 4 months and that time will go. There we go. See how that's matching with no problem? Now watch this. Doop. Video disappeared. Video disappeared. Gone. This is a perfect example why you have to ask these questions. That's why. This is why we use him, because he's a perfect example why sellers don't do what this guy's doing. Make sure your product is tested. You can back it up 100%. Make sure you can show dates of your product being tested before you ship it out. And for consumers, before you buy any screen paint products from anybody, make sure they have those tests. As a matter of fact, as a little test to make sure they have those tests, request those tests. And I guarantee you they are not going to do it. I love it. Like I said, we go in and we post our tests and they go, oh, but those are old tests. No, they're not old tests. Because again, by you saying they're old tests tells me at the end of the day that you don't know anything about testing at all, period. Those are the tests for that product before we ship them out. And my company launched in November the 2nd. Those tests were done anywhere between July and I think July, probably a little farther up, probably July, but in that area. So no, those aren't old tests at all, period. Those are tests that are attached to that product. Any tests after that would be wrong because you don't sell a product and then show the testing afterwards. The product is supposed to be tested before it's sold. So that's how I know you don't know what you're talking about when you make those statements. If you did proper tests and you knew what testing was, you wouldn't have made that statement to begin with. It's just basic. And matter of fact, it's just basic common sense. Anything you have in your house right now, you don't buy it and they test it later. We all know that. So what rock have you been living under for the last couple of centuries? These are screenshots of the product, Cinemax. And this was I keep in mind, like I said, because I don't want him to go into a whole Karen mode. I'm being bullied. No, you're not being bullied, buddy. You're being outed. But anyone else is doing the same thing. But this is a perfect example why the customer needs to ask for tests. Because you do not want to fall in the nightmare that these customers have fell into doing business with this guy. You don't want to fall into this nonsense. And as for sellers, if you are thinking about getting into this field, don't cut corners because the same fate that happened to this guy can easily happen to you. That's why you do your tests. See right here, when you go to my website, you see this whole massive category we have up here? This comes from a product that's tested, that knows what it's designed to do. I already put my challenge up. I put my entire test page up as a challenge to match or better. I bet you it would never be done. I guarantee it would never be done. There were 30 video demonstrations in that freaking test thing. It's never going to be done. They can't even survive in basic ambient light environments. There's nowhere in the world they're going to be able to pull up in the environments that we stand in. There's my test page right here that'll pop up. You'll see it at the bottom. What were you doing when we were doing all these tests? What were you doing with your time? Now, next topic I'm going to bring up is your website's legit. Because now websites, they're requesting tax information. Did you know that? Yeah, we just went through 2 of them on a couple of my websites. They were requesting for the EIN numbers and licenses and all that stuff. They're requesting it now. Do you have paperwork on your sites? Because we do. That's another question. Are they paying taxes? And the answer is no. I guarantee they're not. I sat there and had a conversation with one of them, and I said, well, he says, I have a license. Well, then it means you applied for DBA and you have an EIN. And he couldn't answer me back because he didn't know what they were. You need those to have a license. These are our test demonstrations right here. What is this one right here? I got to go and have a look at which one that is and replace that. Mind you, any test demonstrations, we have so many of them that we've removed video, we can put another one right back in. If you look at my account has over 7,000 demonstrations. They don't even reach that number. So these are our test demonstrations right here. We can show the customers what the screen's inside and outside, wherever we want to show them at. I'm going to see this outdoor demonstration. Let's go over here for a minute. I'm going to see which one are you. Outdoor demonstration. Menu here. That would be the test page. Site information, site menu, test demonstration. I don't even know how you even got two categories on a website, like shop and home. Where's the rest of the page? You're supposed to have more than that on there. Let's see, which one are you? Outdoor demonstrations under test. No. It'd be outdoor, right? That's outdoor. Huh. It's right there. It's ready to turn me, no problem. Now we'll go fix it. Let me see right on this right here. That's the other one. Test demonstration summary. See what's going on there. Oh, I forgot. I got to go to the site with a spelling checker today. That's another job. I'm going to go pick up some food. I'm done. It's going to be a long process. And make sure we got no incorrect spelling on the site. We have to go through that again. We go through it over and over again to make sure the site's running perfectly. I got to go through. And I got to upgrade the search engine optimizer on 2 of the other pages. Have to be done. Get those done today. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. That's fixed. There's nothing wrong with it. Something just didn't load properly. That's all good. All right. That's good. Working on that one. All right. Well, that's basically about it. Like I said, don't want to look. If it was somebody else who was doing the same thing he just did, they would be that person. But apparently, he's the spokesmodel for basically not getting cheated at the end of the day. Because again, you want to make sure that the products are tested before you buy them. And the first test you need to ask from the door, before you ask for what projector, what screen size, what environment, the first question you need to ask for the consumer, ask them to do a demonstration next to everyday house paint. You don't want to hear no nonsense on camera, them saying that, oh, it's a slight bump, it's a slight hiccup, it's a discoloration, the ivory levels that you don't, that's bull crap. That's all bull crap. Either it matches or it doesn't. That's what's going to come up, one way or another. That's the same mess we've seen here in this demonstration. Same nonsense. He explained it in the bare silver screen that matched his product. Then he turned around and said the exact same thing in the video with the network gray 773. And both videos went missing. So that means he got on camera, talked all this stuff about his products, not matching this product, just to come in to remove the video anyway. So you don't want to hear that crap. You want to see a difference between night and day. That's what you want to see. If you can't show you that, then it ain't worth your time. If they can't do the test, it ain't worth your time. Oh, that's the other page we're working on. Samurai. Did we add more upgrades? We did upgrade. We did some upgrades on here today, yesterday, a couple of days ago. We extended some upgrades on here. I got to work on this too. Get into that right there. I'm gonna go pick up some food because I got to do a spelling check on the entire site. Ugh. Then we got to call that guy. I got window. Oh, I forgot. We got phone calls to make today too. I'm gonna pop over in the city. I walk right past it when I go to the post office. I need to just go in there, file this work, and get it done because we got to take somebody to court. Well, actually, Jamie's going to court. I got plenty of time. I got like 4 years or something like that. My statute of limitations are a bit, probably about 3 years after the end of this year. I got time. I got plenty of time to file. I got to go in there and file that paperwork because I got to take him to small claims court. He violated a batch number, so we got to take him to court for that. Definitely got to take him to court for that. Definitely got to take him to court for violation of a batch number. The $10,000 violation on against our company. Well, actually, against you. See that demonstration right there? That's Black Dynasty, and that's Black Magic. I think it's the darkest version of paint they make for Lowe's. And in between that, that's a strip of fabric. That technology, that Black Series technology, that's one of the many tests that it has underneath of it called Black versus Black, where we take black surfaces and all that stuff like that, paint the whole 9 yards, and we throw it against the screen. We even had demonstrations where we've drawn into screens with black paint live. All those demonstrations were done live. So we can back our products. Anytime a customer comes to me asking for any demonstrations, we can back it up 100%. You guys can't do that. And I mean you guys, I don't mean one individual. I mean all of you cannot back your product. So I guarantee if I took the time off to go in and do that test for you, which I don't have the time, but if I did take the time, I guarantee I'd get canceled orders left and right. We'd have a stack of canceled orders if we did the test for you. But this is what the customer comes and asks us at the end of the day, what's the difference between our product? There it is right there. Okay, well, that's basically about it for me right there. As I said before, we do advise the customer to ask this question before you purchase any paint from anybody. Everything has to be tested, everything to motorized projection screens and fixed frame screens and your projector and everything else you have in your home theater setup. How come your screen paint's not tested? So you need to ask those questions. What is the difference between its house paint and your product? And if they can't give you the test, then you go somewhere else. If they're just now doing the tests, then you definitely go someplace else. And for you sellers out there, well, you know, I'm going to say, you got to back it up or you got to pack it up. Got to go. Be careful. God bless.